Yep, it's another Monday, another bus trip to Cairns, and just got another piece of gravel in my shoes. These shoes really pick up the gravel every time I walk in them, especially up there, because it's actually this crescent actually doesn't have a great surface compared to the main road. Anyway, just cleaned up a few fronds this morning. We've had a lot of blowy weather and it causes a lot of fronds to drop, so I've got a huge surplus. I would love my my garden beds to be erected so I could actually use all the foliage I've got on the ground at the moment as a base before I put soil into them. But I'm only 3/4 of the way through one of them because the mob who's selling it on eBay, I'm having really major problems communicating with them, and I just don't think they've got a clue about how to actually put this thing together. I don't think they've ever touched it. I think they've just basically imported this stuff from China and they're just basically reselling it without any product knowledge, which is pretty piss poor. It's the worst I've come across on eBay. Most times people have some idea of what they're selling, but this mob doesn't have a clue. And luckily I got a call from my cousin yesterday and her other half, who's a bit of a handyman around the house. He's done quite a bit of building work and stuff, so he's pretty good with the dexterity stuff with you know, doing kits and what have you. He said he'd help me out if I just send him the manual and a photo of what I've done, because I'm getting quite frustrated with it. And seeing I've got an e-bike presumably arriving tomorrow, which has to also be assembled, this could be a DIY hell week for me. So it'd be nice to get this all sorted. I mean, I'm looking forward to the e-bike, but I don't think I'll be able to get it up and running straight away. I'll need some help, I think. But we'll see. I mean, I'm sure the instructions on that'll be a lot better than on this this garden bed. It's not, there's not much to it, but the instructions are so poorly written. There's no real written instructions. It's just diagrams, and I can't quite work out what they're on about. And they've got some internal struts, and I've got no idea how they're put in, because you've obviously got to provide inner strength to the structure. But again, I just don't know how it's supposed to be constructed. And it makes it even worse when you've got people who sell something and then you ask for help, and all they do is they send you a PDF copy of the hard copy that I've already got of the manual, the assembly manual. It's not good enough. So I think my next door neighbour might be able to help me out too. I should knock on their door and just see what's going on. I haven't spoken to them for ages. Probably be a good opportunity to see how things are going. They seem like nice enough people, so why not? Also, I'd like to know if you're having any luck resurrecting the old electric scooter I gave him. I scored bacon and eggs. At least my shopping expedition here was reasonable. I had a terrible morning because I had the guy try to deliver my e-bike while I was in a medical facility. Perfectly bad timing. I kept saying to him he could deliver any other day of the week. He said, no, I've just got to ring the number that he leaves on this note. So I've got to go through the hassle of ringing him up and getting it another time. I'm very flexible with time, but they just happen to have chosen the worst possible time of the week to deliver to me, the most inconvenient. I wish these plate mobs would actually ask what's the best time to deliver before they deliver something to you. That would be really nice. Fat chance, I guess. Anyway, I'm finally at the end of the day. It's been a little shorter than last Monday. That was a real marathon, so this is relatively easy. And like I say, it was nice to finally find the bacon and the eggs. I've got them finally, because I like putting them into heated, sort of like toast. It's bread. It's actually hamburger buns, and I heat them up, make them nice and hot and crust and crunchy. And I put bacon and eggs in there with some greens as well, so it's a really nice meal. Just get a bit of variety. Also Latina, they had that on special, the the bolognese sauce, so that was a good take too. So yeah, I got a few things today. It wasn't bad. So and I'll probably take the 110 back and then head back via the liquor land and get myself another bottle of port, which I was intending to buy yesterday, but I got a phone call later in the day, and it just, at the end of it, I thought, stuff, I couldn't be bothered going. So I had an alcohol-free day, so that's probably not a bad thing anyway. So anyway, fingers crossed the bus will turn up when I think it will, and I'll get back. But bus service has been a bit erratic. It's the first cancelled bus service from the stop that I get on a Monday. I thought it was a girl actually getting on at the same spot, but it's actually a kid. He was a young kid, he had long hair. Shows how short-sighted I am. So it didn't sound like a woman. He's definitely got gender ID issues if he is. Anyway, fingers crossed my bus turns up soon. Our bus is supposed to be a minute behind the one I just got off. We'll see how that operates. That might be it coming up. It's a possibility. It just saves me having to go navigate round the roundabout, which is a pain. So I can wait a minute. If they don't show up in a decent time, like 5 minutes, I'll walk it. Of course, I know then the bus will pass by me. So this way makes it a little closer getting to home, and I still might be even snare a whole ride right back once I bought my port. We'll just see. It's worth a try. But the schedules are very wobbly, so we'll see. But at least this bus was on time, that's why I'm doing it. So if there's any chance of the Kawara one being close to schedule, it should be coming up soon. Just crossing the road over there from that side to this side, and it's a more pleasant walk. It's a nice little pathway down here. Who knows if the bus will show. The weather's not bad, so if I have to walk, big deal. I've been fairly sedentary anyway, and that might explain why I'm having a bit of trouble on the push bike. I need to get my fitness up. You'd think I'd be doing more walking up this way, but I'm not. I get things delivered, and I get the bus for shopping as opposed to walking. So that's the problem. But yeah, well, the way the schedules were with the buses early today, you can't count on them coordinating, but in theory, the Kawara bus should have been 1 minute behind. Yeah, oh, there it is. That's not too bad, actually. I probably should have waited. It's okay. So, yeah, it was about maybe 5 minutes, which is okay. So I guess it does pay to wait on that stop. And I could have been on that bus for one lousy stop. No big deal. Chances are I won't get it when it leaves the terminus because it'll be too late then, but I'll get my port and I'll walk home. No big deal. Oh, at least I got the bus most of the way back from the shops, I suppose. But yeah, expect the unexpected when you get on a bus in Cairns. Oh. Well, this is where I should have been dropped off, just here. So I don't know what was going through his mind. Anyway, I finally get my coffee, and I have to ring up that bloody place to get the e-bike delivered sometime later this week. It would have been nice to have it today, but not that I'd be in the mood to assemble it. So that could take a week. Well, this is the box that encloses my new e-bike, as you can see. In both instructions are both in English and Dutch, seeing it is actually from Germany, and that's what it looks like inside. It's a bit unbalanced. It's already fallen over once on the outside there in the porch area, but I've just got to basically now get the thing together. I think I'll have more luck with this than I will with the trying to get my raised garden bed done, but we'll see. It's quite a large container, and we'll see how we go. But it was originally delivered on Monday morning when I was actually at a medical facility, so it was the worst possible timing, so they had to rearrange the delivery, but only delayed it by 48 hours, and Monday was a write-off anyway, so I just missed out on having it yesterday, but that's no big deal. But next thing is to basically unbox it and see if I can put it together and get it in operation sometime today. That'll be my plan. And then I'll get on to the raised garden bed after that, I think. And I might get my neighbour to help me out there, but I might even get his assistance with this if I have to do stuff with the gears. We'll see how good the manual is, how much information they provide. And I'm sure it'll be better than what I got with the garden bed, which is virtually zilch. It's a terrible manual, and it's hasn't helped me in the slightest, but here, this one we'll just see how we go. Okay, here's the bike. And I've just moved it to the wall where I had my other bike. My first impression, I had to drag it out of the box. It's quite heavy. It does feel heavier than my other bike. So that's the first thing, but of course it does have an electric motor and also the battery to add weight. So it probably wouldn't be much fun trying to get this thing moving around on your own power. You'd need the assistance, I think, because it is a heavy looking bike. So that's my first impression. The seat feels really comfortable. I just pushed down on that. I've got the manual online as well as a hard copy manual that came in the box. So it shouldn't be too daunting. They do recommend that you get it looked over by a bike professional. So I'll see how I go. If I can get it into operational mode, I'll look around for a local bike mob, or I might see if I can get someone online to check it out and just come by. You know, there are options there, so but I'll have a go at it, and I feel more confident getting this happening than the actual raised garden bed, funnily enough. Mainly because it's made by it's made in Germany. There's more sort of trimmings. You get cheap and nasty on eBay from stuff that comes from China, and that's what I have with the raised garden bed. However, this particular product I think is much better made and provides more backup, and there are videos on putting this together as well as a comprehensive manual. So it's good to have a PDF version, because with my eyesight I can actually see it a lot easier. The print's quite small in the printed version. So the pedals come separately. They're here. This is the charger, and there are some tools that are supplied as well. So yeah, it looks, like I said, they've got the trimmings because you pay a little more, you get the whole thing. But you know, it looks quite. So that's obviously the motor there. That's quite thick. There's the electric motor, and there is the battery. So that's the battery there, which comes out. I've got to actually put the pedals on. I've got to attach the handlebar, and I think I might have to do some adjustments there with the gears, and that's probably going to be a little daunting for me because I'm not au fait with all the work required with bike maintenance. Maybe I should get into that and learn those basics. But anyway, it's here. It arrived. It appears as if everything's here. It's just a matter of me putting it together and following step by step, and just taking it very quietly and methodically, and we'll see if I can get out on the road today and test ride it. That would be great. Well, this could be the greatest mistake of my life. I'm just thinking about actually getting on the bike, going through the gates and taking it out on the road for a short period of time. I actually tried riding this bike on the grass 2 days ago, and I went arse over tit and got that abrasion on my leg because it was on the grass and it was just fell over. But on a level surface, it's fine. I actually just took it from here up to about that pile of dirt there, and I felt only after about one rotation of the pedal, I could feel the pedal assist kicking in, and that was at the lowest level, so that was quite amazing. But anyway, it's a heavy bike. I'm a little worried about keeping it stable. That's my major concern. I just saw a review of another model of the Milano range, and there was a guy, an athlete who had a knee injury, and he had the step-through system, so it went down like that, and his wasn't a 28-inch, it was actually 26-inch, so it was lower slung, and he also had the seat at the lowest level, so I understand why he did that. But look, I think I'll be okay. I've just got to get out and do it. It's been driving me nuts. I feel a bit better now that I actually sat on the thing and actually had it powered, and it seems to be working okay. So we'll give it a go, and hopefully I'll be in one piece. Yeah, I'm heading to the to get the bus. A balmy Monday, early September, and boy, has the weather changed quickly over here. It's just a few days ago, about 3 or 4 days ago, it was still a bit nippy, but now it's much more humid and summery, and top temperatures now reaching about 29 degrees in the day, and it feels a lot hotter. Quite, maybe because it was we had a fairly long cool period, and that the contrast is fairly stark. I see some people there getting their aircon sorted by the looks of things. Yes, I've used the fan. I had to use the ceiling fan, which I hadn't been using for months. It just felt sweaty going to bed, so needed some relief, and I had it all last night. So that's quite a contrast. And that's one of the things of living up here. You have to get used to the fact you're going to get some pretty warm weather. But it just came suddenly, that's all, so that's why it affected me. I finally got up the gumption to take a ride on the e-bike on Saturday, and I rode it up the Crescent. So it's only a very short run, I don't know, about 100 metres or so maybe. But, I got a feel for it. It felt okay. I actually started the ride without any pedal assist, and then I switched to number 1 setting. I could feel a surge of power straight away, and then I went up to 2. Didn't notice as much then, but I think I was pedaling and getting about 20 k's per hour, so I was making getting a reasonable clip of it, and I didn't feel particularly puffed. I went up against the wind. It didn't seem to be a major issue. Not that it's a particularly high elevation going up that road up here, up the main road is, and that'll be more of a test. I'll take it out on a proper test run, and might just go all the way up to Cottesloe and down Poolwood Street, and that'll be a decent run, at least a kilometre or so, to get an idea what it's like. I'm just going to take it slowly because I want to get used to the bike. It is a heavy bike and could be difficult to control, so I'm going to make sure that I learn how to ride it properly before I get in there. But I'd like to do it every day because it's a good way of getting exercise. So we'll see how that plan goes. Oh geez, a whole lot of kids on this. That's weird. I've never seen so many people waiting for the bus here. Why would they be on that side? They must be waiting for the bus on this side, I think. An unusual bus ride. A whole lot of kids got on it, and my own stop on the other side. They were waiting on the opposite side, but they were just in the shade. They actually got on the same stop I got on. Yeah, it was really packed, absolutely packed. There was standing room, and they all got off the library, which I sort of was predictable. Then coming down here, we made very good time. Normally, a bus, a lot of people get off at stops or get on at stops along the main road, Sheridan Street, but they didn't today. We pretty well came straight from Smithfield without anybody getting on and off until I got to this stop here, which is amazing. That's never happened before. So consequently, I'm here pretty early. So there's no pressure today, which is a nice change, because I've had pressure every other Monday that I've been here recent last couple of weeks. So it's a nice change, a bit more relaxing. Bus from hell, God, that took forever just to get from the hospital down to here in Smithfield, because it was late about 13 minutes, and on top of that, the number of people that got on board, and they must have been tourists, because there was one group that took forever because they came in couples, and one couple would get on, then a couple of stragglers would finally catch up to them, and then another couple of stragglers. So I just drag out the whole process. So it took forever. So not good. Hopefully we'll get some decent produce at the supermarket, but this has been a frustrating day. I also had a trainee at the hospital for my procedure. That's happened twice to me in about the last 3 weeks. Please consider subscribing to my channel if you think there's anything there of use to you, or entertainment or whatever. And either do that or give me a thumbs up, or if you're feeling really energetic, do both. That'd be great.